Hi, I'm Tim from Bonsai Bar, and we're here today to talk about making a mame tree out of a cutting from your bonsai. So I have a cutting right here from a dwarf jade, or Portulacaria afra. This is a great little cutting here. It's got a few little branches already started on it. And so the only thing that we need to do with a cutting here to get it ready to root is take off maybe the first few internodes of leaves down here at the bottom. I'm only leaving maybe like 1 inch to 2 inches of space here, and I'm just taking the leaves off so that the whole stem can go into the soil and stand up on its own. So I have a little pot here of just normal potting soil, and I'm just gonna take that, push it down in, and then kind of push the soil down around it to hold it in nicely there. So this just needs regular potting soil, and I am gonna let this get extra dry between waterings. So because the cutting doesn't have any roots on it yet, we wanna make sure that this doesn't stay too wet. So I give it a good week between waterings here for at least the first month or so, to make sure that it dries out completely and really gives the roots the environment that they want to start growing in. So once that's in there, I'm just gonna be checking on it maybe weekly. I'm making just a little itty bitty tug on it. If it starts feeling resistant, that's telling me that the roots have started to grow in the cutting. Once those have come and set up pretty well, then we can take our tree as soon as you're ready and move it over into a mame pot. So I have a cutting here that's already been in for a few months here. It's grown some pretty nice roots. That's great. This one is definitely ready to go. So to prep this to go into our mame pot, I'm actually just gonna loosen up and remove some of this potting soil that's all around here. I'm just gonna leave maybe a little bit of bitty ball below the trunk of the tree here, but I'm removing most of the potting soil as we're gonna be replacing that with the Mame bonsai soil that our kits come with here. So that's pretty good. There's still a little bit of soil in around right underneath the main trunk there, but that should be pretty good right now. So get this soil out of the way. Once I've got it down there, I don't really want these longer roots that are getting a little bit out of hand. I'm gonna come back and just cut those back a little bit so I have nice small root ball that fits inside my mame pot here. So that fits inside there very nicely. So with our mame kit, you're gonna have a nice mame pot here. It's gonna have a mesh tape on the bottom. That just holds the soil to keep it from falling out the bottom hole. Then you also have this nice wire kind of snaked up in there. So I can extend the wire out here nice. You'll see there's a figure 8 on the wire on the bottom here to keep it from pulling up through the bottom there. And this is just gonna be used to hold our tree up in the pot as the roots grow in through all the soil here. So I can take that, put that up like this, maybe lay it off to the side. Then I'm gonna take the mame soil that we have here. This is just normal bonsai soil. This is the smaller parts that get sifted out normally on our soil. And I'm just gonna take a few spoonfuls here, place that in the bottom of the mame pot. Then I'll be taking the tree here, and I'm going to take my wire and kind of push it gently through that soil here, making sure it comes out right next to the trunk of the tree. I'll work that down so that now the roots are sitting in this soil there. Got it at the height that I want. And then I'm pinching that wire right against the base of the trunk there where it comes out. I'm pulling tight so it's nice and taut between the bottom and that trunk. And then I'm just gonna take the wire and I'm gonna spiral it around the cutting here. And I'm going around trying to avoid pinching any of these leaves against the bark or against the trunk of the tree. I want this to be good and tight against the trunk of the tree the whole way up, going at about a 45-degree angle as I work my way up here, but I don't want to have any gaps between the wire and the tree, so it really holds and controls the tree very nicely. Boom, and I can go all the way up to here. That's nice. All right, so now I have the tree wired in there nicely. That wire is just gonna hold the tree in there and hold it up nice while the roots have time to grow into all the new mame soil, bonsai soil we're putting it into. So I'm gonna take more of the soil here and just kind of keep heaping this around the roots there, making sure there's plenty of soil in here, filling up the whole rest of the pot. I'm gonna take a little small stick like this, and I'm just gonna work that soil and make sure that it's filling in all of the little pockets between the roots that are down there, filling it in nicely there. Great. So now my tree is nice in the pot here. It's got enough soil, just a little bit more, covering up these top roots there, Perfect. So now we've got a nice Mame tree set up in the pot, and the wire is great because not only does it hold the tree in, hold it at the angle we want it to be while it's giving it time for the roots to grow through all the soil, it also allows us to put bend and movement into the trunk here. So what I'm going to do is take this, supporting the bottom of the trunk, I can use this wire, it's a temporary training aid, and I can put movement into the trunk. This is the same way we use wire in our beginning classes, so I can put this nice twirl into the trunk right there, giving it a lot more character. In a few months, as the tree is put on more vascular growth in that position, eventually you'll be able to take off the wire and it'll hold that shape as if it had always grown that way. So another thing I like to do once I have the tree in nice like this, I'm going to come back in, I'm actually going to cut it back here, making it into a much nicer, shorter tree. Taking the top off and the growing tip of our cutting there, taking that off is going to encourage these nice new branches that have started on the tree to start pushing out, and that'll start making it look much more like a real tiny bonsai tree, much quicker. So here we have our finished Mame bonsai.